Thomas and Emily had been married for over a decade, and despite their deep love for each other, they had been unable to conceive a child. The pain of infertility had taken a toll on their relationship, but they had learned to cope with the disappointment. One day, they decided to hire a maid to help with household chores. Hi, my name is Knife Me. Like and subscribe for more stories like this, hoping that the extra help would bring some relief and joy back into their lives. They hired a quiet, unassuming woman named Rachel, who seemed to be the perfect candidate for the job. She was efficient, kind, and hard-working, and Thomas and Emily grew to appreciate her presence in their home. They treated her with kindness and respect, paying her a fair wage and providing her with a comfortable place to live. However, as time passed, strange things began to happen in the household. Emily would often complain of feeling unwell, and Thomas would find strange symbols etched into the walls or furniture. At first, they dismissed it as mere coincidence, but as the occurrences grew more frequent and intense, they started to suspect that something was amiss. One fateful night, Thomas woke up to find Emily lying lifeless in their bed. He was consumed by grief and shock, and as he held her lifeless body in his arms, he couldn't help but wonder if Rachel had something to do with her death. But he pushed the thought aside, thinking it was just his grief-stricken mind playing tricks on him. After Emily's funeral, Thomas was heartbroken, but he eventually found love again with a woman named Sarah. They got married, and Rachel continued to work for them, seemingly loyal and dedicated to her duties. However, as time passed, Thomas began to notice that Sarah was acting strangely, often complaining of vivid nightmares and an eerie feeling of being watched. One Sunday, as they were attending church, the pastor gave a prophecy that made Thomas's blood run cold. "There is a witch among you," the pastor declared, "one who has been hiding in plain sight, waiting for the perfect moment to strike." Thomas's eyes immediately fell on Rachel, who was sitting in the back pew, her eyes fixed intently on Sarah. That night, as they returned home, Thomas confronted Rachel, demanding to know the truth. At first, she denied any wrongdoing, but as Thomas pressed her for answers, she suddenly let out a cackle and revealed her true nature. She was indeed a witch, and she had been manipulating Thomas and his wives all along, using her dark magic to kill Emily and attempting to do the same to Sarah. As Rachel's confession poured out, Thomas felt a mix of horror and rage. But before he could react, Rachel let out a blood-curdling scream and collapsed to the ground, dead. It was as if the weight of her own evil deeds had finally consumed her. Thomas and Sarah were left shaken but grateful to have escaped the clutches of the wicked maid.